Bro, they're gonna show that he been talking to his informants that's telling on him. In order for you to keep informing, you gotta pay me.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy, The Answer Man. You about to hear some unbelievable, ridiculous, absurd discoveries by the Department of Justice. With Big U asking for permission to go to his son's funeral, they gonna tell you what he been doing behind the wall. And keep in mind, this is all recorded. It's straight out of a movie. Let's get to the content.
Yo, the feds ain't playing fair.
Not at all.
Bro, this nigga tried to get a pass to go to his son's funeral. The feds turn around and expose you been having phones. The hell that had to do with anything? Yeah, they exposed you and other people phone time. Did they mention Rayshawn Williams in there?
Uh-oh. They did.
Yeah, they mentioned he lived with you and you didn't go to his funeral?
Yeah, they said you didn't even go to his funeral. Why would you go to your own son's?
Yo, we need to. How many pages is that, bro?
So let me see. 17?
Bro, we need to go through that. This is.
I got it. Hey, Wack, when was the funeral date?
I think it was supposed to be on the 21st. They was trying to do
21st?
because
So that's what? 4
they
days?
held the body up. You know, Muslim.
Oh, wow.
Now the AUSA ain't going for none of that. You
Share
been
the
on the
room, yo.
phone, having phones. Your girlfriend, Rayshawn Williams, lived with you. You didn't go to his funeral. They saying all kind of crazy. AUSA, the feds. We got to work. Yeah, Eddie Boy went down there and pulled to work.
Feds play different, huh?
Way different.
It is a response. So they're just responding to what he filed to get out. So look at it how you want to look at it. They they kind of responding. So
Motherfucking Big B.
yeah, bro. United States District Court for the Central District of California brief in support of detention for defendant Eugene Henley. This is filed 11/16/2025. So hot off the presses. United States Plaintiff versus Eugene Henley, aka Big U, aka Unk, aka Droz, aka Hannibal, aka Hannibal Muhammad, aka Anybody Killer, aka Dave Austin. Pay attention to that, aka Dave Austin. If you know, you know. Memorandum of Points and Authorities. Introduction. For a parent to have to bury a child is a tragedy that none should suffer. For a parent to miss that burial is yet another tragedy. Unfortunately, such is this case here. First, regardless of the circumstances, the factors set forth in the Bail Reform Act still apply. And here, defendant Eugene Henley Jr., also known as Big U, is charged with the murder of a young man. So right off the bat, they get into it. Also known as Big U, is charged with the murder of a young man who himself was buried by his parents, a funeral that defendant famously did not attend, despite knowing the victim his whole life, managing his music career, and paying for the trip that would be his last moments on earth. Amidst the other vast and sweeping allegations in this case, the Bail Reform Act continued to demand detention based on danger and risk of non-appearance. Second, defendant cites to a single district court case in which a court granted release in order to attend the funeral. This single instance, however, is believed by a standing number of cases in which courts have routinely, if not uniformly, denied requests to attend funerals. Ultimately, defendant's release for any amount of time creates far too great a risk to justice in this case and to human life. Jesus. To human life? Defendants should remain detained for the safety of the community and the victims and witnesses to his crimes. In defendant's own words, and they quote, "If I would have had a problem with any man, the issue would have been resolved, and he wouldn't be here, or I wouldn't be here. And can't no one be me, because if he do, I'm period, point blank." The government has also detailed the reasons for his continued detention in connection with the defendant's original bail determination. Thus, the government will not repeat here, but respectfully request they be incorporated by reference. This is where they get into his in custody conduct. While in custody, defendant has demonstrated his unwillingness of inability to comply with conditions. Okay. In order to fully assess defendant's temporary leave request, the government obtained and reviewed his phone communications in federal custody. These communications revealed a complete, if not wanton, disregard for the rules, willful attempts to evade discovery of those violations, and continued attempts to obfuscate and hide his comps. For example, defendant has utilized other inmates' BOP numbers of the pens and accounts to complete hundreds of calls in violation of rules. So they got him on hundreds of calls utilizing somebody else's pen. In each of those calls, the inmate whose account defendant is using speaks first to verify their voice before handing the phone over to the defendant. So they already got him on that call. In at least half of those hundreds of calls, defendant then has the person he is calling add a third person via encrypted application.
Bro, they're gonna show that he been talking to his informants that's telling on him. In order for you to keep informing, you gotta pay me. Like this shit get wild, y'all.
Wait,
This
what
nigga,
the?
yeah, keep on, yeah.
Oh,
You gonna end
shit.
up going through this again. This is wild. Pay
They said
attention.
over half the calls. The content of those calls itself are also in violation of BOP policy, as the majority of the calls uses other inmate numbers or to an individual identified that defendant refers to as his girlfriend. In those calls, defendant discusses how to thwart BOP mail policies so that defendant can receive illicit photos of her while incarcerated, as well as hiding those photos in legal folders while simultaneously engaging in phone. Freaky ass boy, you a sissy on guard, huh? Defendant and his girlfriend have also devised a scheme in which his girlfriend will sign up for a single paralegal class so that she can visit him in custody, subverting MDC rules that only allow for immediate family legal visitations. Defendant also has discussed sending messages to his co-defendants. Defendant also has discussed sending messages to his co-defendants who are on pretrial supervision with orders not to contact co-defendants. A desire to enforce the rule that no one in the case be allowed to plead guilty unless defendant does. Wait. Let me back up a second here. They got evidence of this? He's pressing the co-defendants that they can't plead guilty? It says the tragic circumstances that have arisen since his incarceration do not necessarily compel his release. So basically saying the fact that his son died, rest in peace, although it's a tragedy, do not basically compel his release due to his danger to the community and also to the witnesses already, and the confidential informant it says here. So they got evidence of him pressing a confidential informant, contacting the codees, pressing the codees that they can't take a deal, they can't plead guilty unless he pleads guilty.
Yo, did you get the part where
Uh,
the niggas is charging the people that's cooperating
yeah, I
against him?
seen that.
Yeah. If they want to, and then some of his co-defendants, if they want to take a
Oh yeah, that
deal
shit. Yeah, I just read that part.
and come with a plea, they gotta pay. I think it destroyed the co-defendants and the rats.
Oh my God!
Well, they gonna over this, bro. I'm sorry, they ain't showed us half the shit they got.
All right, y'all. What can you say about this? This is why street culture is played out. This is why the streets are dead. This is why rap music hasn't charted in years. This is why the young people don't want to hear this blasphemous, make terrible decisions, get locked up, say nothing, and come home 20, 30 years later. These kids don't even want to give up 20, 30 minutes to do a chore. You think they want to go behind a wall for 20, 30 years? Nobody's built like that no more, nor should they be. Nobody's thinking like that no more. And this decision making, with things being recorded, acting like it's an 80s mob movie, is just a clear illustration of the illogic of the streets and that life. We've all incorporated elements of it just because of where we came up. Before social media, I remember being in meetings and somebody tells something about somebody else in the business, and my mind is thinking, why are you snitching on this person? But they running a business. That's how pervasive this thought process is. So just take note of it in your daily life and wipe it out wherever you can, slowly but surely. It take a while to get out your system, whether you a hardened criminal or a hard-working person 9 to 5. We all know how it's going to end. It's been put in us for years, and we got to get it out. R.I.P. to Big U's son. It's sad he can't make the funeral, but the decisions he made prior to that led to this result. So here we are. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Appreciate all y'all tuning in. Till next time, man. It's your boy Del the Answer. We out.